welcome back to our Bridgesimton challenge. We are here with our Driscolley family, and as you can see, Lola has gotten an invitation to go to a nearby estate with gardens that are simply stunning this time of year, and she is being invited to take a stroll. And so we are going to go ahead and we are going to go and accept this invitation and have Lola go out and make some acquaintances with some of the community members. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the game, and we will let Lola head herself off to the gardens. So Lola is going to head off and go out on a stroll to the gardens. We are going to have Victor go ahead and come on out, and we're going to have him check and see if he has any invitations as well from some of the people. It doesn't look like he currently does. And he's asking his mother about some texting emergency. She's just going to tell him he needs to wait. Don't be bothering people. Give them time to respond. As you can see, we have a little bit of a supportive dynamic between Brenna and her mother, which is really great. Brenna, as we know, has recently aged up into a teenager, and so we are going to be needing to start working on some of her skills to get her ready for the marriage market. We do have Lola and Victor. They have met all of their skills for the marriage market, so it will be very soon that they are going to need to be heading into the marriage market to find themselves some love. But it looks like Lady Lola spies a patch of flowers. Which one has caught her eye? Let's go ahead and say the white lilies, and we will continue on with her out there in the garden. I'm just going to go ahead and take the family into the house here and let them start working on some of their skills. I do think I want to go ahead and get Brenna into the house and let her start working on learning some piano skill. She does have to obviously learn music level 5, so I do want her working on learning some music skill. So I do think I'll have her go on inside and start working on some of that. And we are going to send Bianca and Victor on into the house. I think maybe they are going to head themselves off to bed. It is starting to get a little bit late, but Brenna is feeling pretty good right now. She's not feeling really all that tired, so I'm just going to have her work on some of her skills. And then when Lola gets home, we will probably head her off into bed as well, because I figure after strolling the gardens, she's probably going to be a little bit tired herself. So we're just going to go ahead and let them get themselves a bite to eat and then head themselves off into bed while Brenna here gets herself some practicing on the piano. We are going to hopefully be seeing them get more and more invitations. They have obviously been introduced and presented to the Queen, and we presented them to the Queen so that they could let her know that they are in, the running for the marriage market. They are looking for some bachelors and bachelorettes, and they are wanting to have some matches. And so now the ton is following their every move, and all eyes are on them. We also have Scarlett Marino and Flora Vasiri. They are also part of the society's eyes, and the ton is watching them. And we have some other community members that are of age that are also being watched at this present moment that will be entering the marriage market as well. And everyone that is entered into society is currently just awaiting the time for the ball for them to be able to meet one another and mingle and start to make some love matches and things like that. So I do think that's going to be happening soon here in the story. It does look like Lola has returned from her stroll in the gardens. She did seem to have a nice time out there, and as you can see, she is feeling a little bit tired. So we are going to go ahead and just have her come on into the house, and she's going to go and get herself tucked into bed and get herself a little bit of rest. Everyone else has already headed off to bed because it is quite late. So she is going to head herself off to bed as well so that she can get herself some much needed rest. She did have a nice little outing, and she obviously didn't have to have a chaperone because it was with one of the other community ladies in society, and so she just had a nice little stroll getting to know some of the other women here in society, and she had a really great time doing so. So she's gonna go ahead, get herself some sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. So it is bright and early. Brenna is up. She is feeling pretty energized, pretty inspired, pretty happy, but she is also starting to get a little bit hungry. So I am going to go ahead and send her on downstairs and let her grab herself a bite to eat. In the morning here, obviously we will be sending off our teenagers to school. Brenna has not quite yet enrolled in high school, so we will have to get her enrolled in high school. We will be sending Lola and Victor off to school as we always do, but Brenna will just get herself a bite to eat, and then we'll get her enrolled in high school. And she is just going to spend the day with her mother and working on some of her skills here in the house. And then obviously she will go to school the following day, and we absolutely love that she'll be able to enter into school. She'll be able to make some friends and start getting herself a little bit of a high school education here now that she has aged up and she is eligible to go to school. But she's currently just talking to the butler, and she's praising him for his hard work and the good job that he does here around the house, and he seems to be really grateful for her praising him and, you know, acknowledging his hard work. And so we love that, you know, they seem to be getting on pretty well here, and that she took the time to acknowledge all the stuff that the butler does here around the house for them. So everyone is starting to get up. As you can see, Bianca she's woken up in a little bit of a mood, but we're just going to go ahead and get everyone to go on downstairs and have themselves a little bit of breakfast before they have to head off to school here. Lola and Victor are feeling a little bit hungry, so they are going to have themselves a little bit of food, and then they'll head off to school. Bianca woke up and was kind of cursing, and then just busted out into song, so we love that for her. So she is going to head on downstairs. She's going to make sure that her kids are eating something and that they are taking care of themselves before they have to head off to school. She obviously wants to make sure everyone is in a good place, and she is also going to check in with Brenna and see if Brenna is on track to start working on some of her skills, and if she did get herself enrolled in school. And so she's just come down here to kind of chat and check in. Lola is finished up with her breakfast, so she's already headed off to go on to school there. And Victor is just running a little behind, and that's probably because he's been caught up here in conversation with his mom. But he's going to finish up, and then we'll head Victor off to school as well. And Bianca's like, Brianna, did you go ahead and get enrolled in school? And Brenna's like, I was just about to work on that. And she's like, yeah, make sure that you do, because obviously you do need to make sure that you get yourself a good education so that you're ready for the marriage market. And she's like, yeah, Mom, I of course am going to do that. So she did get herself enrolled in high school. She will be able to go to class in 23 hours. So she will be doing that tomorrow. For today, she is just going to work on some of her skills. So I think that we'll get her upstairs. She can work on some logic, and we can obviously let her work on some more music and things of that nature. And we'll make sure that she is able to build up her skills for that. But we have gotten a message from Lady Whistledown, and so let's go ahead and take a look at what that says. Buddies before studies. No. Make sure you get your studies done, Lola. So our message says, Mr. Lord Victor de Scrolly's sensible fashions are the talk of the ton. Fresh designs and flattering fittings. I have to wonder who is his tailor. Her Majesty's favor blossoms this season as she chooses yet another promising rose. Miss Lady Lola Driscoll has earned the monarch's favor this day, leaving the other so-called diamonds to wonder if they were ever more than daylilies. Several other debutantes were also fostered in the high society this day, including Driscoll, Miss Brenna, and Miss Elodie. Young gentlemen were also presented. We are happy to introduce Mr. Florent and Mr. Lou. So, as you can see, a lot of people were introduced into the ton, but it would seem that for now, Your Majesty has chosen Lady Lola as her diamond. So we love that. Lola is her diamond for right now, and I am thrilled to hear that. I hope that that is going to continue to be the case, that Lola is her diamond, and we will have to see how that goes. With Lola being her diamond, that does mean that Lola has a really high chance, obviously, of being chosen to find someone when she does go to the ball, and she does go to find herself someone as a match, and I'm really, really excited to see that. And so, as you can see, Bianca and Brenna are just having a little bit of a chat here over the chess table, and they're talking about the society gossip, and, you know, they're talking about some etiquette. And Bianca is like, have you heard the news that came out on the society gossip? And Brenna's like, yeah, I heard. And she's like, your sister is the diamond so far this season. And she's like, yeah, I heard that. And she's like, I know that we presented you to the queen as well, but, you know, technically, you know, you're kind of entering into the season early. You haven't even met your skills yet. It's a good possibility you might not meet a match this year or this season. You know, I don't want you to be discouraged. I do want you to be proud of Lola. She's been working really, really hard. And Brenna's like, I'm not upset. I understand. And I don't know that I'm really ready for that quite yet. And she's like, okay, good. I'm glad that you feel that way. So they're just having this nice little conversation about all of this. And she's like, I'm, you know, so proud that Lola's come so far. And I really hope that she does well. And Brenna's like, I'm sure she's going to do absolutely fine. And so they are just sharing a little bit of gossip. They're, you know, brightening each other's day and just talking about all of the community news here. And they are obviously making sure that Brenna here is trying to get what she needs to get. But it does look like Sabrina Hendrickson has gone into labor. So we are going to head over there and see her have her baby. So let's go see Sabrina. So we have arrived here in the Hendrickson home. We are going to send Sabrina on up. We're going to let her have her baby. And we are going to see what it is that the Hendrickson family has. Now, as we know, this family has had a little bit of scandal, a little bit of trouble. But we do know that Sabrina is happy to have this child. And so we are glad that they are finally having this little one here. So we are going to see if when she has this baby, her and baby can survive, and we will hope that everything works out okay for them. So we are just going to send her into the nursery here, and we will see how it fares and what she is going to name this little one. All right, Sabrina, let's go ahead and give birth to your little one. She's like, I am so uncomfortable. Alright, so Sabrina has given birth to a little boy. We are just going to go ahead and randomize for his name. And we are going to name this little one Larry Hendrickson. And so we have had a single birth. Larry has been born. And we are going to go ahead and pull up and see Mom can't roll a 1 and baby can't roll a 4, 8, 12, or 16. So let's pull up our dice and see if Mom and baby can survive. So if we roll the dice for our mom, we get a 16 and she survives, and baby rolls and gets a 19 and survive. So both Mom and Larry are going to survive this childbirth. We will go ahead and put Larry on the timeline that he is going to survive, and he will get 2 days on the timeline as a baby. And then I'm just going to have her go ahead and give him a little bit of a feed here, and then we will hop on over, and we do have another birthday on the timeline for today, so we will be heading over to see Augustus Harrington, and we'll be aging Augustus up to a child. So we'll be seeing that next. So once she comes in here and she gives little Larry a bit of a feed here, we will head over and we will see Augustus, and we will see what he needs for him to be able to age up into a child. So Sabrina is just going to head back on upstairs here. She's going to see about giving Larry a little bit of a breastfeed here and go ahead and take care of her little newborn. As you can see, she is very happy about the birth of her new baby, and I do think that, you know, even though she is struggling with Holden, I think that Holden also will be quite happy about the birth of his child as well. So baby did not want to be fed, so that's fine. We're gonna head on over and see little Augustus. Let's just go ahead and check maybe our timeline and see what it is that Augustus is going to need to not roll. So as you can see, Augustus does age up to a child. He can't roll a 3 or a 17 in order for him to be able to age up to a child. So let's go ahead and head over and see Augustus now. All right, so we have arrived here with Augustus Harrington. He can't roll that 3 or 17. So let's go ahead and pull up our dice and see how he is going to fare and see if he is going to be able to age up to a child. So if we roll the dice for him, Augustus is going to roll and get a 20. He is going to be able to age up to a child. So let's go ahead and age him up. And then we will hop into cast with him and give him his child makeover and see what he looks like as a child. So happy birthday, Augustus. You are aging up to a child now, and you are getting so much bigger here as our little heir here in the family of our royal family, and we absolutely love that. So Augustus has aged up. He is going to be erratic. We are going to go ahead and give him a mental skill. We are going to give him the nerdy birdie aspiration. And this is what Augustus looks like as a child. And this is his little outfit. He is so absolutely adorable. I think he is super cute. He really is. And let's go ahead and jump back into the game. All right, so we have arrived back here in the Discrolli family. They are just having a little bit of a conversation. And it does look like we are getting a call from the Alessandros. They are wanting us to go green. And Lola's like, I don't really know a whole lot about that. And they're like, well, you can just think about it. She's like, yeah, we'll ponder over that. I am going to go ahead and send Victor out and have him check and see if he has any invitations that he has been sent and see if he can maybe go out and have some things that he can do. It does look like he got an invitation. I fancy some fresh air. Shall we promenade together, Mr. Discrolli? So he's going to go ahead and accept that invitation. We're going to send him off, and he's going to go ahead and go out and go promenade with that lady. And it looks like Lola is feeling a little bit hideous. Just put on some light makeup. You're going to be fine, Lola. So we are going to go ahead and get them playing a little bit more chess here. We obviously want them working on some skills. Maybe Brenna can actually work on doing a little bit of music. I think getting up some music skill would be good for her. We definitely need her getting to music level 5. So I am going to have her go ahead and go in here and work on some more of her music skill. And as we know, Lola has already met all of her skills for the marriage market. So at this point, she is really just building on any of those skills, and they're just going higher and higher. So we're just letting her kind of tend to what she needs to tend to. And she is accepting, oh, now that Victor and Elizabeth are ready, where should we suggest they promenade? Let's promenade in the park. All right. So they are promenading in the park, and he's having a lovely time. And Contessa is calling us again. We're just going to tell her, look, we don't really want to do the green initiative. You just need to calm down. So he has arrived back from going promenading in the park, and he seems to have had a good time. He's feeling pretty playful. He is going to go ahead and come on in and just talk to his mom about this promenading that he went on. And he's going to kind of share a little bit of a secret with her. They're going to just discuss kind of how his day, event went. And he's going to, share a little bit of society gossip with his mother, I think. I think that obviously she would want to know how things went because she obviously is concerned and, wants all the tea on everything that goes on with her children. And the fact that he went out with a lady to the park, she would obviously want to know anything that kind of was going on with her children. It's not like he's actually, dating this lady, but obviously Bianca would be concerned and would want to know anything that was kind of happening with them. So he is just going to go on in there, and he is going to talk to his mother about all of the things that happened on his little outing out into the park. And he's going to kind of just share this information with her and fill her in on everything that kind of happened. And so they are just going to have a little bit of a discussion about it, and he'll, share all this information with her. I think that Lola also is going to kind of come on in here, and she's going to have a bit of a chat with them, and she's going to ask him, well, what did you think of her? And was she a nice girl? And do you think that she's someone that you might like? And he's like, I don't know that she's actually even in the market. I think she was just, kind of being a friendly person, and maybe we could be friends, but I don't know that she's actually even someone that is an eligible bachelorette. And so his mom's like, well, why did you even go out promenading with her in the park if she's not an eligible bachelorette? Like, that's just gonna raise scandal. And he's like, I don't think she's trying to raise scandal. And Bianca's like, you need to be careful because we don't need a scandal coming onto our name. And he's like, I'm not trying to make any scandal, Mom. You need to, you just need to calm down. Everything's fine. I did everything by the book. I was very gentlemanly. And she's like, okay, as long as you're being a gentleman, Victor. As long as you're being a gentleman. And Lola's like, yeah, that, all eyes are on us this season. And he's like, I understand that. She's like, don't you ruin these things for us, Victor. He's like, I'm not going to ruin anything. So Lola's going to ask him, do you think maybe we could get a little bit of dancing practice in? I really think that we need to, brush up on our dancing skills. And he's like, I think we could probably do that. And she's like, I really think that we should. I don't want us to get rusty in our dancing skills. And he's like, yeah, we can absolutely do that. And she's like, oh, that would be wonderful. Because it's been a few days since I've practiced any of our dance steps. And I just think that, maybe we should definitely practice a little bit. So I think these two are going to definitely do a little bit of dancing practice. And, I think that they just want to make sure that everything about them is, up to par, so that when the queen does hold a ball, they know that they are going to be secure in how they behave, and they're going to be ready so that they can, not only impress the queen, but impress the suitors that are going to come for Lola and the ladies that are going to come for Victor. And so they are just getting a little bit of dancing skill in here, which we absolutely love for them, and just practicing. And they feel like, they're just doing their part in making sure that they're ready for the marriage market and that they're going to succeed when they finally get there. So after they finish up with this dancing, I think they're going to continue to kind of gossip about, both of their outings. Victor's not really feeling like his outing was very successful, for the simple fact that obviously the lady that he went out into the park with is not actually an eligible bachelorette that is part of the marriage market. So he feels kind of like he had wasted his time. Obviously, she was a really nice lady. He had a good time going out with her. He was a very, gentlemanly guy, but it's not really going to lead him anywhere. So he does feel like it was a bit of a waste of his time. Lola obviously hasn't had any male suitors call on her. She only just went out with a lady in the community, and it was really a lady that was, in the community that has kind of fallen from the community. She went out with the D'Alessandros, and as we know, they were part of the community, but then they lost their child, and now Contessa D'Alessandro is a little bit of a drunk, and she's kind of got a little bit of scandal that kind of follows her, because she kind of has a little bit of a bad name for herself. And yes, she went out to the gardens with her, and yes, she was kind to her, and she was cordial with her, but Contessa is not necessarily someone that you want to always associate with. Yes, she is obviously a higher up in the community and in the society, but she's not someone that you want to really associate with all the time. So as you can see, Bianca is just trying to clean up and take care of the house here a little bit, and Brenna is getting herself a little bit of a bite to eat. The other two are just upstairs mingling with one another, but it is starting to get a little bit late here, and we are going to be having to head them off into bed soon, I think, because we do want them to obviously go ahead and get themselves a little bit of rest soon. But we are going to go ahead and we're going to need to do our random selection roll. We need to find out what it is that our family has faced for this episode, And so let's go ahead and head over and do our random selection roll so that we can find out what it is our family is facing for this episode, if anything. So let's go see what it is about our random selection roll. So for our random selection roll, as you know, we do have the 5 categories to choose from. And so if we open up our random number generator and we choose from the 5 selections and generate, we get a 4, which is going to put us in the disaster category. And then if we go for that in 10 options, we get section 5, and it says all social events this season are a failure. And to be completely honest, that has kind of already happened. As we know, Victor already went out with someone and he didn't meet anyone that is really an eligible bachelorette. And she, as I explained already, went out with a woman that has fallen from grace in the society's eyes because she has lost her child and then she became a drunk. So really their society events have already become a failure. So there's not really much more that they can do. They're going to go ahead and check the mail and see if they have any other invitations. It looks like Lola does not. Oh, she's about to wee herself. I'm going to send her on off to the washroom, and then I'm going to send her off to the bed, and then I'm going to get everyone else to come out and check for invitations as well. It's a good probable, it's probable that they all do not have any invitations at this time, but we're going to go ahead and check just to make sure, because we do want to ensure that we check all of their invitations, and if they have any that, obviously we fulfill those, but if they don't have any, then I guess they don't have any. But yeah, I am just making sure that everyone has checked all of their mail, and then we are going to send everyone off to the washroom and then off to bed for the evening, and then I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Bridgesimton challenge, where we are going to be with our next family in the lineup, and we'll be seeing what happens with them and what their story is going to unfold. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.